when Simpsons take a trip to Shelbyville to watch a musical, but things take a turn when the show paints Springfielders as hicks and morons. Marge, furious at the portrayal, heads to Springfield's Cultural Advisory Board with a plan to bring some sophistication to their town. They decide to hire the famous architect Frank Gehry to build a grand concert hall. But on opening night, the event is a total flop, and soon the concert hall is abandoned and falling apart. Mr. Burns sees an opportunity and buys the hall, transforming it into a state prison. Homer tries to get a job as a guard, but his plans are foiled when Otto switches his drug-laced urine sample with Homer's, getting him rejected. To fill the prison and increase his profits, Mr. Burns pressures Chief Wiggum into enforcing old, forgotten laws. Homer finds himself on the wrong side of one such law and is thrown in jail for illegally transporting litter after kicking a can down the street. Back in prison, Homer gets assigned to kitchen duty and accidentally becomes a snitch when he tips off the guards about Snake's escape plan. The guards reward him with special treatment, better food, and even a new plasma TV. But when Marge visits, she accidentally outs him as a snitch in front of all the prisoners. The inmates, now aware of Homer's betrayal, plan their revenge. They fake a prison break to get the guards out of the way and corner Homer in the kitchen. Marge, using a key from her role on the Cultural Activities Board, rushes to save him. They take refuge in the gas chamber, where Marge gives Homer a piece of her mind for becoming an informant. The guards eventually storm in, breaking up the standoff with tear gas and riot gear. As they're released, Homer tips off Governor Mary Bailey about the awful conditions in the prison. In response, Bailey tells the inmates that since there's no room in other prisons, they'll be sent to a garbage barge to fight it out in bare-knuckle boxing matches until a king is crowned. Surprisingly, the prisoners are all for it. Homer is finally freed and Marge is relieved, but as soon as she falls asleep, Homer heads to Moe's. On the way, he bumps into Snowball, who's also sneaking off, now overweight and heading to the bar. They strike a deal not to snitch on each other.